Alfa Romeo Stelvio has a big boot. It has rear seats that conveniently split fold in 40/20/40 portions. It has sensible black plastic wheel arch lips. It has multiple cup holders, a power tailgate, several shopping hooks and 280 bhp. Which is quite a lot for a high-riding 5-seat family car. This certainly isn't the first time that Alfa Romeo has set about building a more practical vehicle. It made a rugged, Jeep-like 4x4 called the Mata in the early 1950s, but what its Canadian boss Reid Bigland underlines is that the Stelvio is an Alfa Romeo first, and an SUV second. And, as any car enthusiast knows, that should mean a recipe to include excellent handling, feelsome steering and a tunefully characterful soundtrack. To this end, Chief Engineer Roberto Fedeli points out that Alfa Romeo consulted a couple of musicians, of rock, blues and pop leanings rather than orchestral, rap or trance, apparently, to create a backing track in harmony with the rest of the car in the interests of bestowing it with a coherent character. There's little chance of finding out how effectively Alfa's ambitious approach to the Stelvio's chassis tuning works at its Balaco test track, most of which is as smooth as a fresh-shaved cheek, but there is some reassurance to be drawn from the fact that the Stelvio has been tested on roads in Wales, Scotland, and England. But for this car more than most, it'll take a UK drive to determine what the ride is really like. The steering's swift-acting ratio is exactly the same as the Giulia S, and at low to brisk speeds on Balaco's stampin' tracks, the Stelvio changes direction with a crisp immediacy that's heightened by the promised lack of roll. What you feel at the rim is more resistance than topography, but at least it's accurate and consistent. It's not long before you forget your distance from the road below, and begin to drive the Stelvio with the verve of its slower-riding Giulia sister. Our early build test had one or two frustrating bugs, among them wind noise that roared too obviously and a driver's seat with no tilt adjustment. But, on the flip side, further positives included the Stelvio's robust aura, the high quality of much of the interior trim, a particularly tactile steering wheel with a perfectly positioned starter button and the enjoyment of driving an SUV with a bit of verve.